So this is my first impression of Gears of War Reloaded. This is probably what, the third iteration of Gears of War 1. So you've got the original Gears of War on the 360, of course, then you've got Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and now you have Gears of War Reloaded. Which, to be honest with you, I'm not complaining about, because Gears of War is an excellent game and an excellent franchise. I know it dipped towards the tail end and it kind of lost track of what it was, or maybe it just came to its natural course, but you know, it's been milked for whatever it could be. But Gears of War 1 has been a fantastic game, no matter what you say. It is one of the best games on the Xbox 360, and it probably is one of the more defining games on the Xbox 360 when it first came out. So now we have the Reloaded Edition, which, not surprisingly, depending on where you're coming from, is out on the PlayStation 5. Now, what distinguishes Gears of War Reloaded from the other two editions? In terms of gameplay, I couldn't say it's anything major. Take this with a pinch of salt, because it is a first impression of Gears of War Reloaded. Therefore, I haven't gotten deep into what this is, and really I don't think it's very much different from what it was, right? It's pretty much Gears of War 1 on the PS5 in particular, PC, and of course obviously the Xbox, which, I mean, if it didn't come out on the Xbox, then that would be sacrilege. Now, getting into it, it is still a fantastic game. This Gears of War is an excellent shooting experience, and it is a cover shooter at that, but it's one of those games that does it so well, and it didn't and doesn't really need that many tweaks, to be fair, because what it does is excellent. Cover shooting system with what is probably the most addictive mechanic in a cover shooter, the active reload mechanic. That you can't get better than an active reload, right? That sound design of an active reload, and then feeding back through the vibration of the controller, and then the output in terms of killing your enemies on the screen, right? I don't want to complicate and make it seem like it's something in depth. It's just like this carnal joy that you experience when you actually do an active reload and you mow down the locust in front of you. But yeah, in terms of what this game brings new to the table, it's probably that it's multi-platform. I'm sure there's some visual improvements somewhere where it is better than the others, but to the naked eye, I couldn't really say that for me it's something that is significantly better. Don't get me wrong, it's great that it's been updated in terms of visual design for PlayStation 5, the Xbox, and the PC. And when I say the Xbox, it's probably because I can't make sense of what edition Xbox is out there at the moment, to be honest. But it's something that it's almost like it flows with time. You see it now as you see it back when it was out on the 360. That's probably a good thing, right? Because if you went back to the 360, it would seem, to be honest with you, Gears of War, the original, doesn't really look as outdated as you might imagine. But it still looks good for platforms that it's on. For me, it's a conversation of why would you buy Gears of War Reloaded, right? Because there's so many games out there at the moment. You've probably got a massive backlog. What is the need to buy Gears of War Reloaded? I think this is a great point for fans, really, because anyone who's a fan of Gears of War and has been a fan of Gears of War, you've now got that original experience updated on modern platforms, and it is a brilliant point to step back in time, bringing it to the forefront of where we are now. For me, this is probably going to be a game where I will dabble in the campaign just because of nostalgia's reason, and then I will more than likely play multiplayer here and there because it's really fun, and that's just what it boils down to, right? I mean, everything boils down to that. If you're having fun, you're going to be playing something more and more often. So the campaign itself, from what I've been playing, as you can see some of the gameplay footage here, I have enjoyed it. The mechanics are still excellent. They hold up so well, and you want to play it because it's a great shooting experience. Now, more than likely, what is going to keep people coming back is the multiplayer. That was the staple of Gears of War. The multiplayer was excellent when it first came out, and I'll be honest with you, I couldn't give you a true impression of the multiplayer. That'll just be unfair because I only had a couple of games to kind of get into the speed of things, and it wasn't enough for me to just give you an explanation of how great or how poor, however the multiplayer is. It was good from what I experienced. It gave me that all Gears of War satisfaction of running around with an Astra, active reloading, not two-piecing anyone, but just going around and having that Gears of War multiplayer experience from right back into it. I know some people might find it really difficult to adjust. Well, I say really difficult. They might find it a little bit tricky to adjust because most people moved on to Gears of War 2 or 3, and that movement was a little bit faster than the original Gears that I'm playing now. Well, not exactly the original, but you get my point. It was faster. So it's going back to almost a comparison of Call of Duty 4 and then that moving towards Call of Duty, well, the latest iteration, let's just say, the crazy movement to the original movement where it's deliberate movement, if that's a fair comparison of the two. And I really enjoyed it. I'm going to keep playing this so long as the game's supported properly, and it looks like it's got a few variations on modes which are maybe unique to this edition of Gears of War, and that is something that I'm intrigued by because I loved the original Gears multiplayer, and this is more of that. So if you're looking to play Gears of War Reloaded, what platform are you going to be playing it on, and are you going to play it for the campaign, the multiplayer, or both? Let me know what you think, and take care for now.